from a sort of Christian family, and I used to go to Sunday school occasionally. My parents didn't really engage with church, but I used to go to Sunday school as a young child. And then we moved house slightly out of London into the suburbs, and our local church was within walking distance, and I didn't used to go very much, but I used to go again sometimes with my father. Again, my parents, though it was a Christian household, we didn't really engage much with church. Neither of them had any particular role in the church, but they did want me to sort of go to church. And when I got to about 12, they said, you want to be confirmed? Should you think you should get confirmed? So I got confirmed, went to the classes and got confirmed. And then after that, again, I would probably go about once a month maybe. They'd say, oh, you haven't been for a while, maybe you should go. So I went along with that as an obedient child, and I went. And that was that. And I got to about 16, and I was at a senior school, and some of my friends, some were Christians, some weren't, and one in particular told us about a holiday run at this school during the summer holidays. And so I went along, and a few of my friends went along, went as a group, and we had a great time, and we really enjoyed ourselves. And it was run by an evangelist called Eddie Vass, and it was lots of people giving their testimonies and talking about how they came to Christianity and became Christian. There was one chap there, he was had quite a very difficult background. He'd actually been in prison, he was almost like a gangster, he was a murderer, drug dealer, and he had done a terrible life. But he was now giving talks in this Christian centre, and it was quite amazing that even God works for people who, the worst person imaginable, could actually turn him around, and he became a Christian. So as a quite impressionable 16-year-old, I was sort of listening to all of that and thinking about it. And then one evening we had a talk, and the Eddie Vassell said, if anybody wants to make a commitment to be a Christian, you can just look up now. And I did that. So I didn't come forward, but people were praying, and anybody who wanted to commit themselves was to look up, which I did. And at that point, that was, I can say, the point I actually made the commitment of actually deciding, yes, this is really for me. So life went on, and I sort of grew up and got a job, and I joined a sports club, and I was doing sport twice during the week, in the evenings and at weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. And I joined this sports club, and I didn't really go to church much because I got married and I moved out of home. But I would look across the river, and there was a church there, and the church bells would go on a Sunday morning. I was thinking, really, I shouldn't be here, I should be there. I felt sort of the pull, I should be over there. And anyway, I had to give that up because I decided to go back to night school, so to study for something. So I did that, and after I did that, we started a family, and we thought, well, we'd been looking around for a church, and we visited a couple of local churches, and we thought, because we'd moved out by this time, we thought, well, we'll try the Methodist church locally, and we did, and we took our 6-week-old baby along. And the welcome was so great, and it was just, we felt at home. As soon as we walked through the door, we just felt at home, and it was wonderful, it was really nice. And we both attended, and with my 2 daughters as well, they went to Sunday school. So we went as a family initially, and I certainly then decided that I would go further, and I was asked to sort of be a steward and senior steward and take other roles within the church, which I did. And we were there for about 30 years until we moved to West Sussex. So I can honestly say that I can see, looking through my life, how God has worked and how he has changed things and worked, even though we might not have wanted to do some things. We did them in the end, and listening to what he was saying through other people and through things from the Bible and from what other people were telling me, you eventually know how to do the right thing. And that's the story, really. That's how I became to faith.